Join me today as we paint this beautiful floral painting called Gratitude. Hi, welcome to another episode of The Rock and Roll Painter. I'm JD Wayne and this is The Rock and Roll Painter Show. Today we have something a little different. We're going to do a nice big rose up here, a nice colorful vase. Let me tell you what we got done first. I got just a 16 by 20 canvas that's coated in a black gesso. And then on top of that gesso I took just some black acrylic up and down, and then took a little bit of a yellow acrylic while it was still wet, just to give me that olive green kind of hue off into the background. But this is a dry canvas. All that's done ahead of time, just the acrylic dries and we can paint oil over acrylic. And I got just a little drawing of a vase, just so I know where it's going to be. If we do this in class, it keeps everybody's vases in a nice good shape. So with that, let's get started here. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit of medium. Forgot something here. We'll get some out right here. No problem, we'll get started right away. That was an easy thing to forget. Okay, we're going to start with some crimson, a little bit of medium, and maybe a touch of mauve, crimson mauve. Let's see if we can paint this, get this vase going here. Get right up over to the edge. We want to cover that line up. Like I said, when we do this in class, it's nice to have a template drawn on there so people can keep their vase in perspective. Otherwise you get vases shaped as big as the canvas. And everything we do on the show here, we try to do in the class. Try to show you that yes, you can do these. Let's get that across that rim. Across this side, get that all filled in. With that soft green background, a complementary color to these reddish colors, it'll be a nice contrast to colors, easy on the eye. Once again, with that crimson and mauve, need a little more mauve with that, just get a little darker. Crimson and mauve, we just fill this vase up. Get across the bottom. You don't have to be real neat with it, just nice and loose and fill it up. I guess we need to fill that back side of that rim up too, because that wouldn't be see-through. We know where the top of that is. Get some more of that, some more medium. Some more of the crimson and mauve. I'm not sure the camera angle, if it shows this vase, might look a little odd from the camera angle, but if you're looking at it straight on, it is balanced and in perspective. Let me see here. Yep, it's close enough. And we get that. I want to cover up all them lines. While we still have that color, there might be a little reflection down here, so I'm just going to think about it ahead of time, get some of that color down here on this, would be a tabletop. Now I just want to wipe this brush out a little bit. Let's bring that vase to life. Let's go with a little bit of phthalo red rose, a little bit of white, a little bit of phthalo red rose, a little bit of white. Let's think about where there might be some light hitting that vase. Right across that top of that, coming down through here, kind of nice and loose, kind of painterly kind of feel. There might be some hitting right up on that, underneath there. Keep that nice and loose. And we can take a little bit of a soft brush here, a little bit of soft mop brush, and kind of work that, got big hair come off there. Kind of set those colors down into the vase, but we want it nice and loose, nice and loose. Boy, that brush is really shedding some hairs. But that's the nature of the beast. You just got to watch them, take them off as you go. Now to bring that vase to life, we need to soften that a little bit up a little bit. Let's go with a little bit lighter value. We went from crimson to phthalo. Let's go with some cad red light. Some cad red light. Let's say we got some of that color right on here. Maybe a little bit of that color right up here. establish where that rim's going to be. And once again, we'll take that brush, kind of knock down some of the harshness of that. Knock that down a little bit. But if you work it too hard, you'll overblend it, lose that color. Let's go another step down on the color. Let's go with a little bit of orange. A little bit of orange. Let's get a little bit of that orange right there. You can really start to see that light really pop onto that vase now. Once again, we'll lightly just kind of set that down on there. Lightly take that back. Let's just keep going on this color. Let's see if we can make that light really pop. Let's get a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow here. A little bit of yellow there. We don't want to do too much of that. Once again, lightly just kind of set that into that vase. And one more little color to make it pop. I'm even going to go with a clean brush this time. Go with a little bit of light, really bring some light to that. So we got a hair right in that paint. Let's take care of that before it gets up to painting. Let's get a little bit of light. That's not sticking. Let's get a little bit of that white. Stick it on there, and a little bit of white right there, maybe a little bit of white right under that rim. Now I want to keep it a painterly kind of feel, but I want to knock it down just a little bit. There you can see that light source really just popping in on that base, really popping in. Really like how that looks. But let's take a little bit of that cad red, or that phthalo. A little bit of cad red, a little bit of phthalo. There might be a little bit of light kind of dancing around here on the back side, kind of bouncing off that wall. Kind of set that in, maybe back up in there. Now once again, we'll take that little bit of a mop brush, kind of just soften it down. You see that light kind of bouncing around, give some life to that vase on that side. A little bit of light. But I forgot all my colors down here in my reflection. Let's go back and get some of them colors into that reflection. Need some of that phthalo red and the orange. Maybe a little bit of yellow. It's kind of, you don't have to be neat with this. You just get it on there, let it happen. So we'll take our mop brush one more time. Just kind of go across, sets that down on that table. Just give a little bit of reflection. And say the more you work it, the more you think about it, you can overthink it. Just a little bit of light there. It doesn't have to be exact duplicate of the vase. Keep my hands clean as we go. I like the way that vase is looking good to me. All right, let's see what we can do with the big rose up here. Like painting rose. Let's see what we can do with the big rose. Let's get a little bit of our medium, a little bit of crimson, a little bit of medium, a little bit of crimson. Let's say we got a rose, oh maybe about right here. Nice and loose, and you should be able to see this rose. You should see it and feel a rose. Once you feel a rose, you need to get out, but nice and loose on the outside. Nice and loose. Nice and loose. That rose is going to be just hanging over a little bit. Let's give a little bit of a mauve, so we have a little bit of a darker center. It may not show up much, but I can see where it is. Give me something to work with there. A little bit of shadow under here. A little bit of mauve, a little bit of shadow. Now I'm going to go back to a cleaner brush. Back to a cleaner brush. We're going to start building that rose. Let me just go ahead and clean a brush. That way I know I got a clean brush. All right, when I do this, I always like to have a paper towel in my hand so I can keep my brush clean as we go. Let's get a whole paper towel. Got cheated there. All right, let's start with a little bit of phthalo red rose and a little bit of white. Phthalo red rose and a little bit of white. Let's see if we can start building us a rose here. Let's say we have the bowl of that rose. Let's say right there. We got a little bit of the bowl of the rose, and I'm just going to soften it down, bring some of that rose around this way, some of that rose around this way. Now what I like to do is take that rose with my mop brush here. I like to soften this side here. This side of the rose is way down deep inside that rose, so I just kind of soften it, kind of lose that side of the rose, and that makes this end stand out a little bit more. Now where's my brush that I was using? Now we start building some roses with a little bit of that color, not a lot. We start building the other side of this. Build the other side of this rose. It's going to be a little quiet on this side. We want more of the detail on this side, but we'll start building that building that rose, letting them come out over here. With some of these strokes kind of overlapping each other. So that's the back side of the rose is kind of closed up. We're going to have this side open up a little bit more. So we'll get some more of our white, some more of our phthalo red rose. Let's say we got a petal growing here. Now these petals all connect down to the base, so you got to think about where these petals go. Got a little bit of a petal out here, maybe a little bit of a petal there. Let's say we got another big petal coming in there. Get some more of our phthalo red rose, some more of our white. See if we can build that rose. That's some of that petal coming down toward the middle here. You see it deep down into that rose. We don't lose that feel. Maybe another, my brush all closing up. Let's maybe another one coming in here. And one coming back over here. And there might be what's called foreshortened, where that petal is kind of sticking up, so you just kind of see the edge of that. Just kind of see the edge of that petal. Just kind of see the edge. There, I like how that's coming together. Maybe a little too fast with it, but it's coming together. There might be some little petals down deep inside that rose. Deep inside that rose. Let's kind of just give it a couple more, a little loose. You want it nice and loose on the outside. You don't want it. You want it to feel painterly. Once again, I like to soften down that back side. Just kind of have it quietly be on the other side. So there's more detail on this side. Let's stop and look at that. Looks like a rose to me. We can go with that. All right, now with that rose, well, I'm sure we'd have a bunch of leaves. A bunch of leaves. Let's go with a little bit of our medium. Getting our brushes all mixed up here. A little bit of medium, a little bit of sienna, a little bit of green. Might need a little bit of yellow so it'll show up. A little bit of medium. Let's say we had a stem. Let's go with the liner brush. I don't like the way that one's looking. Let's do all that with a liner brush. That stem's going to end up being a little too big. So some sienna, some green, some yellow. So you can have a stem that comes up this way. Get some more of that medium so that paint will flow off there. Have that stem come up here. Have some things kind of growing off of it where there might be some leaves. You might even have a couple buds growing off this thing. Let's have a few more. Let's get some more of that sienna, some more of that green. Just mix it on the brush. Let's see if we have something coming up. Something coming out that way. Say we got something coming out this way. You see that dry canvas, how that paint doesn't flow off easy, so you got to keep plenty of that medium on there. And say we'll have a couple of things coming up here that we're going to have some leaves on. Let's see, maybe we'll have something coming off here too. Get some more of that color. So this painting's called Gratitude. Gratitude, I had to look online on Google to understand the meaning of one pink rose, and according to what Google says, that means gratitude, the willingness to be thankful. And I have a lot to be thankful for, so that just seemed like a good name for this painting. What did we ever do without Google? I think everybody had a book of, or a set of encyclopedias at their house, but I don't know anybody even has that anymore. All right, we got some stems going there. Let's make a couple buds out here. Let's make a couple buds. Looks like a good bud brush. Let's go back to the one we had. Let's go with a little bit of red, a little bit of phthalo red. See if we can make a bud growing out. Maybe there's a bud growing out on this. So we'll just kind of do like a, oh, that looked like a nice bud. Maybe we'll have another bud. Those are real believable. I like those. Now you might have a little bit of highlight on those where some of the leaves may be just starting to open up. So we'll go just a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, maybe a little bit of orange. You're just starting to see where there's a little bit of a little leaf trying to open up. A little bit of a leaf trying to open up. Now we'll go back to our liner brush. Get a little bit thinner, that'll help it flow. Get a little bit of green, a little bit of sienna. There would be a calyx. That's the part that protects that kind of hanging out. You might see a little bit of that calyx growing out there. Some of them hanging down. There we go. We can handle that. I like the way that looks. Okay, We need some leaves on here. Let's go back with some green and some sienna, maybe a little bit of yellow. Oh, we need, let's just say, let's get a little bit darker green. Let's get some darker green down here. Back up in here, there might be some leaves kind of hiding the top of that. So we just kind of give the illusion of some leaves back in, hiding the top of that vase. Now we'll create some leaves with a little bit of a medium, some brown, some sienna, some yellow. Let's say we got a leaf right there, a leaf right there. Just kind of push on that brush, kind of pick up, kind of gives the illusion of some leaves. Maybe up here there's some little leaves. Some little leaves growing off here. So you just kind of push, just pull up, just kind of create some leaves here. Very simple to do. Let's say we got some leaves growing up here. Some leaves growing up there. And some leaves growing up there. Very effective little leaves. Let's maybe another one up here. I want to fill it up here in the front, so we're going to get a lighter value. We're going to create some gray, some black and white and some gray. And with a little bit more of this color we had with that gray, just to give a lighter value. So we have a leaf on top of a leaf, so you can see it. So we'll just press, turn, there's a leaf, press and turn. Let's have a leaf coming all the way off. Maybe a leaf in here. Leaf down in front of there. Let's go ahead and take one right on off. Now to really fill it up, let's go back to a little bit darker value. The contrast is what gives some depth, so we'll go back to a little bit darker value. Maybe get even a little crimson in there. Some green, oxide green, sap green, some crimson. Maybe we'll have a leaf on top there, and a leaf on top, and a leaf on top. That really kind of fills it up. Put some leaves in here, but you know, we need a leaf, need something kind of hiding that underneath that rose. Okay, I like the way that's coming together. Let's see what we got here. Let's see how we're doing on. Let's get a liner brush. Let's go back, get some of those dark colors. Get some thinner so this will flow. Might just be some wild things kind of growing up in here. Just to kind of fill this painting up. Just have some wild things kind of growing out there, something out there. Something growing out all the way out there, just some nice loose leafy free kind of stuff. I even see, let's go back to a brush that's somewhat clean. We get some of that phthalo red rose, or medium. There might even been a petal that fell down here on the ground. We have a petal kind of laying down here, kind of pulled down a little bit to give a little bit of a reflection. Now we just need something to fill this painting up. We need a little bit of color on the side, just like there's some light bouncing off. Just to make this painterly, let's go with some green and some sienna. Let's just put some color back here on the side. How about a little bit of red? A little bit of red. Maybe just a little bit of yellow. Just to fill the sides up. And we can take our mop brush, kind of soften those in. All it does is just give a little color on that side. So there's some light in there bouncing off the wall. And the light coming on this side, I might even see some turquoise. Some turquoise bounced on this side. That's just a nice, loose, painterly kind of thing. Gratitude is what this painting's called. Gratitude. One of my favorite things to do. You know, this painting went fast. I'm working on slowing down, but things just go too fast at times. We'll get some of this color. And we'll just put our initials down here. JDW. All right, is there anything we can do with that? Nope, I think that looks good to me. We'll call that one done. Let me wipe my hands off real quick so we can take that out of there. Gratitude. Gratitude, the willingness to be thankful, and I have a lot to be thankful for. All right, let's take this out of here, take it down. Let's go put this in a frame. Okay, I can't wait to see this one in a frame. Really like the way this turned out. So we drop it in the frame, it has that lip to hold it in, put a little clip on to hold it. Set her up in the easel. There we go. Gratitude, the willingness to be thankful. There. If you'd like to know more about this style of painting, feel free to contact me at jdwayne@therockandrollpainter.com. Thanks for watching.